How do you get such an open floor plan with a bunkhouse and a fifth wheel under 35 feet? Stick around, I'll show you not only how they did it, but some interesting design choices along the way. So one of the things you'll notice right away, again, is just how open this space is thanks to this huge slide out. But as I mentioned, this is under 35 feet and has a bunkhouse. How'd they do it? Well, take a look at the bunk arrangement. You have double over double bunks that are east to west here. Now, the thing I like about it is it's functional, right? You don't necessarily need the room to hang out in. You just need a place to sleep. And as an adult, I can easily get in and out of this bed. There's enough space in between them that it makes this a very functional space. Plus it's 300-pound weight capacity, so again, easy for adults. Some storage underneath, and I'll open this up and you see that you have additional storage right here at the foot of the bed. There's also some steps to make it a little bit easier to get into this top bunk. So again, very well done overall, very well executed in order to get this and make it a bunk model. There's a vent in here as well, so if you have the AC running, it'll stay nice and cool. So that's a big part of the way they were able to do it. But what else did they do? Well, they did some interesting things with the furniture here. One, in the slide out itself, we have our refrigerator. It is plenty big. By the way, I'll open it up just to kind of, show you. You get great cold storage in there. I think it's like a 10.7 cubic foot, so right around 11 cubic foot. But it is nice and large, 12 volt as well. Storage up top, nice deep storage. But what they did with the furniture arrangement here, and I want your opinion. I want to know what you think because I'm kind of on the fence about it. So I love the U-dinette from a standpoint that it's big enough. I mean, this is a big U-dinette and everyone is able to sit around here. Like even, with knees and everything else, you can actually fit two people back here, one on each side, so you have plenty of room. Plus, when you drop this down, it does give you some additional sleeping for an adult, maybe two if they snuggle up. The other thing I really like about a U-dinette in a Cherokee, which is what the Arctic Wolf is this right here. They give you huge storage. I mean, you can see that, it's absolutely massive. It's not on any guides or anything, so it just kind of drops down. But because they offset is that you get that massive storage, and I'll take the storage over glides any day. The other piece of furniture in here is the theater seating. And I love theater seating in most floor plans, but the reason is because directly across from it is the TV, and that's gonna be the optimal viewing experience. My issue with this is that the TV is up here, and yes, it's on a swing arm, so I know that I can swing it around, but it's still just an awkward angle. The TV's just way too close for me. So that really makes the optimal place to watch the TV the U-dinette. And I don't know, I guess in my mind, instead of theater seating, I personally would have rather had a pull-out sofa, a small trifold that I can pull out and have additional sleeping. But maybe that's just me. I wanna know what you folks at home think. Like, I understand what they did to shrink it down, but what could they have done maybe a little bit differently? Maybe fit a table here with like bar seating, right? Have a table come out to here and have seating. I know you're staring at a wall, and maybe that's not optimal either. Not sure, but it's a little bit different. And so that's why I say I think it's an interesting design choice. Not saying it's the wrong choice, just a little bit different. So let's take a look though at the kitchen. The kitchen is done pretty well in my opinion, mainly because of this, because you have the cooktop here and I get countertop space on both sides. And that's something a lot of times you don't get even in like, rear living fifth wheels where you have a ton of countertop space. I like the fact that I can work on both sides of it. I have prep space here if I need it, although I'm a little bit in the way of the TV now. Don't have a ton here, but they did do something really cool on the sink for the 2024s. Huge fan of this. Essentially, you have a shelf built in here, and so on that shelf, you can have your drying rack. You can see the cutting board fits right on top there. You have, this little wash tray for your vegetables or whatever, and then you have the other tray right down underneath with it drained. And I just love having all of this utility here in the sink. Of course, you have the high-rise faucet, soap dispenser there as well. Plenty of storage up top. You definitely are not lacking for, a place for like your cups, bowls, plates, anything like that. There's more than enough. As far as some of the storage underneath, you even have some over here, which I would honestly probably use this for some of my pots and pans. So I do like that they were able to include that. Plus you have the storage drawer underneath the oven. So again, overall, I think they did a great job. You get this open floor plan concept in a bunk model. It's just something you don't normally see. And while they had to make some interesting design choices there, I think overall it does work. Making our way up the stairs, you can see the control panel. The Cherokee Total Control is what they call this one. The thing I like about it is that you have all the buttons on here, tactile buttons. However, if you want, you can connect that via Bluetooth to a phone. You will also see that your, I guess I'll call it entertainment center, but you have your 2-zone control on here. Again, you can connect that via Bluetooth. So if you want to play, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it may be. You also have the control there for your tankless water heater. So that way you can step right in this nice big shower and be able to enjoy yourself and take a long shower, right? Because you have basically on-demand hot water, which is awesome. You don't have to worry about having a 6-gallon water heater like so many other RVs had in the past. They also have an upgraded nozzle here so that it feels like it's a little bit more pressure. They inject more air into it. You can see the skylight up top. The thing I like about that, of course, lets in some natural light. Also, I mean, I'm 6 foot. You could be 6'5" and be able to stand in here without ducking down, which is nice. You might be able to see over the door at that height, but the fact that you can stand in here is great. I like this as well. This is very easy to remove. You can take it out, you know, if you're actually using the shower, but otherwise you can leave it in there. You can hang towels, you can hang your bathing suits up in there. I think that's just one of those small things that's a really great addition. Taking a seat here, porcelain bowl as you'd expect in a fifth wheel. Plenty of room here. It's again about 6 foot, 210, and I have more than enough space. Big bowl right here for your vanity as well. Big fan of that. Mirrored medicine cabinet, and right over to the side is deep storage. Then as we make our way into the bedroom here, making our way up, and this is a kind of like a you know, a standard Arctic Wolf bedroom, if you will. They do a lot of them very similar, and it's because it just works. I can make it almost all the way up without having to bend my head down, which is nice. Makes it easy to get in and out of bed, right? And then on both sides, you have nightstands, electrical outlets. The one side there, you'll see you actually have a dedicated inverted outlet. That's an inverter just built right in. So even if you're boondocking, you can still plug in a CPAP machine. You also see TV. I like that it's a nice big guide. You know exactly where to mount it. And underneath, this is something that's very unique, is that you have huge wardrobe space. So not only do you have, you know, storage, a little bit of storage here, some storage up top for clothes, but your main wardrobe space is actually going to be tucked away on this side, which is something we don't really see a whole bunch of. Let's take a look at the outside of the Arctic Wolf 278 BHS, and right away one of the things you'll notice is kind of some really neat graphics on here, but more importantly the fact that it's nice white exterior, so it's not going to be nearly as hot inside. Taking a look underneath here, we'll dive on down. You can see the spare tire. I really like having it here just because A, it's out of the elements, so you don't have to worry as much about you know, UV damage and everything else, but also in the event you need to get to it, it's just very easy to access. Over to the side is the battery box. You can see the battery disconnect right here, and over there is the solar charge controller, because this one does have the 100-watt solar panel up top, so it just kind of helps trickle charge that battery. And you'll see right down underneath, you have your 4-point electric auto level system, so just touch of a button and this one will level itself out. Slam latch baggage doors, magnetic catch. You can see they have motion sensor lights. You actually have one on the other side as well. And you have TV hookup. So if you want to hook up a TV, right there it is. You can actually bring the cords outside, so that way you can have the TV out here without having to have your pass-through storage open, because obviously we store a bunch of stuff in there and it can be unsightly. Right underneath that, the leash latch, so that way if you have a dog or something you want to tie up, makes it super simple right there. You don't have to worry about hooking it up outside, especially if you're on like a concrete pad. And then we'll notice the entrance, a couple things that I really like about this. One is the More Ride step above steps. These are fantastic, my opinion. Definitely an upgrade over the Lippert. A, I think they are just built better. B, they're a lot easier to adjust the feet, which if you've messed with them before, you know that's going to be a big piece of setting these up. And so I definitely like the More Ride much better. You'll also see the upgraded grab handle. Not only does it come out, but you have the little swoop down here, which does give you just a little bit more control, especially when exiting. You can put a little bit of weight right there when you're coming down, so that can be a benefit if you have bad knees or something like that. You'll notice the tempered glass door here. It just looks really nice. The other thing I like about it is there's actually a window in it. You can't really see it a whole bunch, but there it is, and that one is ready for a shade, so if you want that little bit additional privacy at night, you can upgrade to that. And up above that, one of my favorite things about this one is the security camera that you have right here. So that way it is prepped for it. You can install the camera, that way you can see it when anyone that comes up to your door. You have that in conjunction with the side marker cameras, I forgot to mention, or side marker camera prep. So you can have side cameras, and you also have backup camera prep. So you can have cameras, basically 360 cameras all the way around this thing, with the exception of the front. But other than that, it's pretty great. Couple outside speakers, power awning up top with an LED light right up there. And then as we come back, water access, take a look at that. Boom, love it. You have the refrigerator ice maker. This is something that I think is super smart to have. You know, I always use ice, and I love having an ice maker. So props to Arctic Wolf on that. 2-burner cooktop. Kind of would like to have seen a griddle. Don't use a ton of these, but at least you have an option to cook outside. And then this is just a wash basin. You can take it, you know, wherever you want. It doesn't drain or anything, just a place to be able to hold some water if you need to quickly wash something off. And then this is one of my favorites. Holy storage, Batman. Take a look at that. That's just huge extra storage. That's, of course, going to be underneath that bottom bunk. Anytime you can give me more storage, whether it's inside or outside, I will definitely take it. I love that they gave it to you here. On the other side, you're going to have your terminations as well as your water hookups, black tank flush, basically everything you're going to need to get this coach up and running. Now, the thing I like about this one, as I mentioned, is the length. You're under 35 feet. The fact that you have the bunks in the back makes a great sleeping space at a great weight. This is definitely something that I know a lot of people love for a lot of good reasons, and the storage is definitely nothing to sneeze at. Now, if you're interested in this one and you would like price and availability, I will leave that link in the description. You can simply click on that and it will give you nearest availability as well as the price. And that way you can pick one up for yourself. So thanks again for watching, folks. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.